Hello, Blythe, Evie, Joe, Jack, Callum, Cadence, Lucy, Orion, and anyone else who's listening. Welcome to Story Time. Hey, if you guys send me pictures of yourselves, I'll share them with the rest of the group so people can see who's listening to Story Time. That might be fun to share. Today's story is Show and Tell, written by Robert Munch, illustrated by Michael Marchenko. The opening page looks pretty exciting. What in the world are we going to see in this story? If this is what people bring for show and tell, whoa. The dedication page says to Ben and Sharon Chia, Guelph, Ontario. And that is their dog. Do you see? So the story begins. Benjamin wanted to take something really neat to school for show and tell, so he decided to take his new baby sister. He went upstairs, picked her up, put her in his knapsack, and walked off to school. Oh my goodness, this baby sister's still asleep. What do you think she's going to do when she finds out she's for show and tell? But when Ben sat down, his baby sister finally woke up. She was not happy inside the knapsack and started to cry. Wah, 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 wah. The teacher looked at him and said, Benjamin, stop making that noise. Ben said, That's not me. It's my baby sister. She's in my knapsack. I brought her for show and tell. Yikes, said the teacher. You can't keep a baby in a knapsack. She grabbed Ben's knapsack and opened it. The baby looked at the teacher and said, Wah, 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 wah. Oh my goodness, look, the baby's crying so hard that it's blowing the teacher's hair back and blowing things around the room. Look, the little girl behind the teacher, her ponytail's blown up into the air. His baby sister is not happy, is she? Don't worry, said the teacher. I know how to take care of babies. She picked it up and rocked it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Unfortunately, the teacher was not the baby's mother, and she didn't rock quite right. The baby cried even louder. Wah! 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 Oh my goodness. Look at how the teacher's rocking the baby back and forth. It's kind of a crazy rock. What do you think? The principal came running in. He looked at the teacher and said, Stop making that noise. The teacher said, It's not me. It's Sharon, Ben's new baby sister. He brought her for show and tell, and she won't shut up. The principal said, Don't worry. I know how to make kids be quiet. He picked up the baby and yelled, Hey, you, be quiet. The baby did not like that at all. She screamed really loudly. Wah! 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 The principal said, What's the matter with this baby? It must be sick. I'll call the doctor. What do you think is the matter with the baby? I think we all know, don't we? The doctor came with a big black bag. She looked in the baby's eyes, and she looked in the baby's ears, and she looked in the baby's mouth. She said, Don't worry. I know what to do. This baby needs a needle. Yikes, what? So the doctor opened her bag, got out a short needle, and said, Nah, too small. The doctor opened her bag, got out a longer needle, and said, Nah, too small. The doctor opened her bag, got out a really long needle, and said, "Nah, too small." The doctor reached into her bag, got out an enormous needle. Enormous means like really, really, really big. She got out an enormous needle and said, "Ah, just right." When the baby saw that enormous needle, it yelled as loudly as it could, "Wah! Wah! 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 Wah!" That is a huge needle, isn't it? And look at how big all the teachers, the babies, the students' eyes are. Crazy. Ben said, "What's the matter with this school? Nobody knows what to do with a baby." He ran down to the principal's office and called his mother on the phone. He said, "Help! Help! Help! You have to come to school right away." The mother said, "Ben, your little sister is lost. I can't come to school. I have to find her." "She's not lost," said Ben. "I took her to school in my knapsack." "Oh, no!" yelled the mother. She ran down the street and into the school. The principal and the teacher and the doctor were standing around the baby, and the baby was yelling as loudly as possible, "Wah! Wah! 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 Wah!" Oh my goodness, can you imagine if your mommy found your baby sister not in her crib? The mother picked up the baby and rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The baby said, "Ah," and went to sleep. Look how happy everybody is. Look, the principal has his hand on a little boy's head and he can't see what's going on. So what the baby needed was her mother, right? Oh, and her mother must have been so happy to have her back. "Oh, thank you," said the principal. "That baby was making so much noise, it was just making me feel sick." "Sick?" said the doctor. "Sick? Did that man say he was sick? He must need a needle." So the doctor opened her bag, got out a short needle, and said, "Nah, too small." The doctor opened her bag, got out a longer needle, and said, "Nah, too small." The doctor opened her bag, got out a really long needle, and said, "Nah, too small." The doctor reached into her bag, got out an enormous needle, and said, "Ah, just right." The principal looked at that enormous needle and said, "Wah, wah, 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 wah," and ran out the door. So the principal's crying like the baby now. "Now," said the mother, "it's time to take this baby home." "Right," said Ben, "you can use my knapsack." "What a good idea," said the mother. And look, she put Ben in the knapsack. So he's hanging off his mother's back, and Sharon and her mommy are smiling at each other. So he goes home, and Ben and his mother put the baby into bed. She went to sleep and didn't cry even once. Ah, don't you know, Sharon is so happy to be back home and in her own bed. Ben went back to school carrying some strange things for show and tell, and he wasn't out of place at all. Oh my goodness, look at what he has. There's a snake, there's bagpipes, there's some kind of curtain rod with a curtain, a teapot, um, and some kind of antenna. He's wearing a helmet with a plume in it. Boy, he is ready for show and tell, isn't he? The end. Look at how shocked the teacher is with all the show and tell. And look at them, a frog, a pineapple, a robot with a bowling ball, a toddler sister with a teddy bear, Ben with his helmet, and he's playing the bagpipes. The boy behind him is a little bit upset with the noise. There's a snake coming up a lamppost. There's an old man eating a jelly sandwich with a knife with jelly on it. Oh, there's a spider hanging off the lamppost. Look, there's Elizabeth. And she's got Prince Ronald's tennis racket. Oh, and look, it's the girl from Smelly Socks, I think. There's pigs. There's somebody sleeping. So this is the back cover of the book with a picture of Robert Munsch and Michael Marchenko. Boy, they make a good team, don't they? And there's the picture of the baby in the knapsack with the teacher's hands holding the knapsack, crying. I hope you liked that story. It was pretty fun and funny, wasn't it? Can you imagine taking a baby to school for show and tell in your backpack? Well, tomorrow's story, we're going to read The Berenstein Bears. Get the Gimmies. This is a good one, too, so I look forward to reading with you tomorrow. Have a good evening. Take good care of yourselves. Remember that I love you. Send me pictures if you'd like other people to see what you look like, those who are listening to story time. And we'll be back together tomorrow for story time. Bye bye.